Now, what are the static files in web? Images, audio file, video files, images, audio files, video files. All these are called as which resources? Static resources. Images, audio files, video files. All these are called which resources? Static resources, right? So let me tell you. Okay, now where you are using these static files in template. Because whenever you are creating a template, for example, if you take, okay, now suppose you take some, what is it? Amazon.in. Now this is what here? Front end or back end? Front end, right? This is a front end. So here are using some here are using some images or not? Yes, you are using some images, right? But these images are the static or dynamic. These images are static or dynamic? Static. Right? These images are static or dynamic? Static. Carrying on. Then how can I display these images? Or how can I display this which files? Audio files or video files, right? How can I display all this within the template? So is it this is template? Is it this is template? This is template or not? Yes. In the inside this template, what you inserted here? Images. So images are called which resources? Static resources. Audio files are called which resources? Static resources. CSS is called which resources? Static resources. Then how can you configure static resources as a part of your web application? You cannot insert directly. You cannot insert directly. Okay, you cannot insert image directly. Your server doesn't know where is your images. Your server doesn't know where is your images. Then you should configure where are the static resources. Okay, where are the static files are. Because whenever you are developing a template, whenever you are creating HTML file, template is here what? HTML. Whenever you are creating an HTML, within the HTML, you may use what here? External. What is it? External. External what? CSS. You may use what? External CSS. External CSS. How many types of CSS? 3, right? Inline, internal and external. External means outside only, means you create one CSS file. Is it this is called one library or not? Yes. So this can be used in one HTML or more than one HTML. Okay. So bootstrap.css, that is external or internal? External, right? Okay. In the same way, you may create an external. External, what is that? JavaScript. External JavaScript means you may write internal JavaScript by writing within the same HTML using which tag? Script tag. But instead of that, you create which file? .js file. You create which file? .js file. And inside this .js file, you write which code? JavaScript code and include in your HTML, either in one HTML or more than one HTML, right? So is it this is internal or external? External. This is a library. Yes. Okay. Now you write a JavaScript function and you want to use that JavaScript function in more than one HTML. Will you write in all HTMLs again and again? Huh? No. You put inside one file. Which file? JavaScript file. And you link it. You link it. You link in every HTML or not? Yes. How you link it? Link tag. How you link it? Using link tag. So external CSS, JavaScript, and what is the next one is images, and next is what? Audio files, and next is what? Video files. All these are which resources? Static resources. Then how can I use the static resources within the, how can I use the static resources within the template? Okay, right? So what is a static file? A static file or resource whose behavior, whose behavior, whose behavior doesn't changes, whose behavior doesn't changes from one request to, okay, from one request to another request, right? Whose behavior will be what? Same. The content of this will not be changes from one request to another. So the output of this static resource will be the same for all the output of this static resource will be the same for all the users. Okay. So the output of static resource is same for all the users, for all the users, right? So static resources are, now these are called static resources. One is, okay, you call it as what I said here, CSS file, external CSS, okay, an external, what is that? JavaScript, okay, and images are external only because it is one file. Anything it is stored in a file is called what? External. Anything it is stored in file, that is called what? External. What is this here? Audio files. Okay, audio files. And what is that? Video files. All these are which resources? Static resources. All these are static resources. Then how you configure the static resources? So what are the basic steps? What are the basic steps for configuring? Okay, what are the basic steps for configuring static resources? Okay, now these are the basic steps for configuring which one? Static resources. Okay, so the first one is you need to create. Yeah, you understood what is a static files? You know, static file means file is nothing but what file contain? Data. Okay, that can be image data, audio data, video data, JavaScript or CSS. This content will be the same. It doesn't changes from one request to another. That you call it as which one? Static. And where you are using these static files within template. These static files are used. Okay, all these static files are embedded within, all these static files are embedded within template. And what is that template is dot HTML. Template means what here? Dot HTML. So inside a template, these files cannot be used directly. Inside a template, these files cannot use what here? Directly. It has to be configured. Means you need to tell the server, okay, where the static resources are available. You need to define the path. Like you said template path. Have you defined template path or not? Yes. In the same way, you need to tell where is your static resources are exists. Okay, right? So then what is the basic steps for configuring? What are the basic steps for configuring which resources? Static resources. What are the basic steps for configuring static resources? Right? So then first thing is you have to create, what do you create? A folder. Okay, create a folder. Because will you put all the things in one folder? No. Every project will have a directory structure. Understood? Every project will have a directory structure. Directory structure means structure is nothing but the way of organizing. You put everything inside one folder, or you dividing. You have an application folder, you have a project folder, Yes, but is it application, project, both are combined in one? No, it's not combined in one, right? It is divided. In the same way, while developing a project, you put all these static resources into one folder. Inside which folder? Application folder. Inside which folder? Application folder. Okay. So create. What do you create? A folder. You create a folder. Create a folder. Create a folder with name. With a name what here? Static. You create a folder with the name what? Static. Inside which folder? Application folder. Create inside which folder? Application folder. Why you are saying it is inside application folder? Because these are local to one application or not. Yes, these images are used only in one application. This what we call CSS are used in one application. If you want to use in another application, you load in one another. Getting or not? Okay, so create a folder with the name static. Create a folder with the name static within. If you create in project folder, no problem. Create it. Who said not to create? Okay, you create it wherever you want. You create it here. You create some other folder outside the project. You create. Will it work? Will it work or not work? Not work because you install. What do you install? Project inside what? Server, right? So why I said create an application folder? Because these resources are local. These resources are what? Local. Local means you create one image. That image used in one application. You create a CSS that is used in one application. You want to use in another application? Copy and paste it. You can also create in which folder? Project folder, no problem. Create in project folder with the name what? Static. Understood? Right. So create a folder with the name static. Inside which folder? Application folder. Application folder. Stupid questions, don't ask here, please. If it is valid question, no problem. I said, why you are creating an application folder? Then why you are creating an application folder? Did I said right? Okay, why you are creating an application folder? Because these resources are local to each application. Understood? Right? You have a multiple applications, then you have a common images. Then put in what? Project folder. Put in which folder? Project folder. Okay, right. So create a folder with the name static. Inside now you may think why should I give static? Don't give some other name. No problem. Yes or no? Give some other name XYZ. Okay, XYZ something you give it. No problem. Okay, any name you can give. So again, don't ask why you are giving name as static. Understood? You can give any name. But why you are giving name as a static? Because to identify that content which resources? Static resources. अभी थोड़े लोग रहते यार डेढ़ दिमाग लोग. Why you are giving name as a static? If I give some other name, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen here. Anything will happen. It is only folder. Why you are giving always the name is application one? Give any other name. Who said not to give here? I said no. You are habituated with one. एक आदत पड़ गया आप लोगों को. So because of that, you cannot come out of that. Understood? Yes. So create a folder with the name static. Inside which folder? Application folder. Application folder. So, and after that, inside this, you put all images, video, audio, everything. CSS, JavaScript, you put everything in which folder? Static. But will you put like that? Will you put everything in one folder? No. You divide into number of folders. That's the reason I'm telling you, put everything in one folder, no problem. But generally, will you put everything in one folder? No. You create images and you put what? Images. You create audio folder, then put what? Audio. You create video folder, put what? Videos. Understood? Okay. So within static folder, within static folder. Okay, static folder, create what folders? Subfolders. Create subfolders. Subfolders are like what? Images. What is that? Audio. Then what? Video. Why you are creating this? Because to separate. Otherwise, you put in one folder. No problem. CSS. And what is that? JS. JavaScript. If you have any other resources, you create a folder with that name. No problem. You create with that particular name. Over. Yes, understood. Then next what? Next what? You can use directly. No. What you have to do is, okay, configure. What do you have to do? Configure. Configure. Okay, configure. Configure. So configure. Okay, this static. Okay, static. What is that path? Configure which one? Static path. In what here? Settings.py. So settings.py, settings. Your project is having settings, right? Always your server will search for the path where it will search in settings.py. It means your project is run with some settings or not. Yes. You will tell where is my template, what is my database, what is applications, what is middleware, all this. You write in what here? Settings.py. So configure static path in settings.py by creating two variables. Now you just see here, there is some variables in settings.py. You can find, okay, you can find, so what is the name of that variable? You find some variables. What is the name of this variable? Static URL. URL means, okay, URL is a name or not? Yes. Yes, a URL is nothing but a name which is used to access which one? Physical resource. Logical, physical. You are accessing view with what name? URL. Yes or no? How you are accessing view with URL? URL is what? Physical name or logical name? Logical name. It is a public name used by whom? Client. To call which one? View. How you are calling the view? With a view name, URL, URL. So you are telling, call this with what? This name. In the same way, your static resources are there in one folder, right? It is there in one folder. Then how you access that folder with one name? And what is that name is? Static URL. That name is called which one? Static URL. Are you getting or not? Understood? What is URL? Name. Use it to access. It is a name used to access. This name is used to access physical path. Logical, physical. Physically, where it is there in D:\\. Yes or no? Then how you are accessing that with what name? Static. How you are accessing with that? Static. That path you are accessing with what name? Static. Can you give any other name? Yes, your URL is user defined or predefined? User defined. But why you are saying static? Because it is which resources? Static. If you want, you can do experiment. No problem. Nothing will happen to the server. Nothing will happen to what? Server, right? Yes. Then where it is used, I'll tell you. Okay. So you have to create certain things. Okay. Certain environment variables. You have to create three variables. Okay. You have to create what? Three variables. One is static underscore what? DIRs. What is the name of the variable? Static underscore DIRs. Is it a predefined variable or user defined? Predefined. Okay. Name should be same. How I said no, whatever variables are there in settings.py, all these variables are predefined or user defined. Predefined. You just give only value. You just assign only what? Value. You cannot change the name of these variables. Because how your server recognize, how your server is recognized by using some names or not? Yes. So these variables are not predefined. These variables are not user defined. These variable names are what? Predefined. You should use the same name. You should not use another name. Getting on. See, can I change? Can I change this name? Can I change this name from templates to some other name? No, I cannot change it because this variable name is template only, templates only. Why? Because your server is looking for template path in what? Templates. Your server is looking for installed applications in what? Install applications only. If I give some other name, is it recognized or not recognized? Not recognized. It is not recognized. Same name you have to give. You should not give any other name. You should not give any other name. You have to give what? Same name, right? So you have to define, okay, static. One is, what is the first one is, you have to create one variable called static DIRs. Okay, static DIRs. And second one is, you need to create one more variable called static DIR. Okay, there is a static DIRs and there is one more variable called what? Static DIR. And there is one more variable. It is already there. What is the name of that variable? Static URL. Static files dir. This is static files dir. And this is what here? Static dir. Static files dirs. Static files dirs. Static dir. And one more is what? Static URL. So how many variables you should create? 3 variables. But this variable is already available. You have to create how many variables now? 2 variables. One is static files dirs and one more is what? Static dir. Now, what is this static dir? Now, first thing is what here? Static underscore what here? Dir. Static dir. What is the name of the variable? Static dir. Okay. Now, static dir is nothing but a path. What is this called as here? Path. Path is there, right? So you need to define the path where your static resources are available. Is nothing but now this variable, static dir variable, hold which one? Path. Path where static resources, are what? Exists. Where static resources are what? Exists, right? So path or variable hold path where static resources are exists. Now where your static resources are exists, you should define the path or not? Yes. Now here, how you create a path? See, path are 2 types again. I think you, okay, path are 2 types here. One is static and one more is what? Dynamic. One is a static and one more is what? Dynamic. If I'm writing x equal to d colon backslash, okay, some xyz, okay, backslash. Now this is static or dynamic? Static. This is what now? Static. But I want to create a dynamic path. So path, there is one predefined variable. There is one predefined. See, path is not, what is the meaning of path? Path, अभी देखो यार आप यहाँ पे है. I want to know where is metro station. Then will you show the path? इधर से इधर लेफ्ट मोड़ो फिर सीधा जाओ फिर लेफ्ट जाओ बोल के बोलते हैं ना. That is called what? Path. Path is nothing but location. What is a path is? Location. फिर आप सर्वर को भी बोलना. You should tell the server where is my Images. Where is my images? Where is my audio files? Where is my video files? Sir, no. Path bole to location hai yaar. Is a way. I mean, it's you are showing the this is the location where my route. Path is nothing but a road. Now this is the location where my resources are available. That is called as what? Path. Then how? Generally, whenever you import anything, suppose if I'm importing one module, if I'm importing one module called ABC, then where it look for this module ABC? Actually, first where it will search for this ABC? Where it will search for this ABC here? Where it will search for this module? This module is searched where? Where this module is searched in? Array, where this module is searched in? Current working directory. Very good. It will search in what? Current working directory. Yes, current working directory. If it is not there in current working directory, it will search in a given path. It will search in a given path. If it is not there in current working, yes, the program as a program, yes, very good. Now this is where it will search for this program or module in the location where your program is exists. That is called as current working directory. If it is not there in a current working directory, where it will search in? Path. In a given path. Then how you give the path? You can give the path in environment. You can give the path in what? Environment. Or you can define the path in your program or not. Yes. How you define the path? How you define the path? Import one module. Which module? OS module. Now OS module is having one predefined variable. OS module is having one predefined variable. And what is the name of that variable is? Path. OS module is having one predefined variable. What is the name of that variable? Path. Now if I say print OS dot path, will it print the operating system environment path or not? Yes. See here. If I run this code, see here, yeah. If I run this code, is it displayed the complete? Okay. So it is just a given path. See here. Module, what is the name of this here? NT path. So path, OS dot path. So what is the name of the variable here? Path. So this is nothing but environment variable path. Okay, now if you want to know, see here, OS dot path. OS is there and within that you have a path. Okay. So path, now these are having number of variables here. There is a number of variables here. Is a file, is a directory, join. Yes. Okay, relative path. Now see here, all these things are there or not? Yes. So OS dot, now to this path, if you want to add to this path, if you want to add OS dot path, what is the path represents here? What is the path represents here? Path represents which path? The path which is given in what? Environment. The path which is given in what? Environment. OS. OS is module or not? Yes. OS is what? Module. OS is a module, and within that OS there is one what? Variable. And what is the name of this path? There is one variable called which one? Path. Now to this path, what you have to do is you have to add which path? You have to add which path? Static resource path. Getting or not? OS dot path. So you have one variable. What is the name of the variable? OS dot path. OS dot path. Remember this. OS dot path. OS is what? Operating system module. Path returns the path. Path returns what? Path. To that path, you should add which path? Static resource path. To that path, you should add which path? Static resource path. Then how you add a static resource path? Yes or no? You should add a static resource path. Now how you are adding it? By using Yes. Yeah, just to try to understand this. Always in project, it is very simple. Don't be confused here. Static DIR is a variable. It is which variable? It is which variable? Predefined variable. Hold what? Path. Where static resources are what? Exist. How you set the path? Okay. You just write OS dot. OS means operating system. Operating system dot. What is the name of this? Path. Dot. There is one method. What is the name of the method? Join. What is the name of the method? Join. Join. What is this here? Base directory. Is it base directory is a predefined variable or not? Yes. So base directory, what base directory returns? What base directory returns? Base directory is returns which folder? Project container folder. It returns which folder? Project container folder. Right? So within this project container folder, inside this, you have which folder? Application folder. Inside the application folder, which one is there? Static. Now, where is your static is? Inside the project container folder or inside the application folder? Inside the application folder. Inside the application folder, then what do you do it? Base directory join. What you are joining it? Base directory, comma, you are defining what? Static. So that is nothing but you are giving which name? Which name are you giving? Application name. You are giving which name? Application name. Application name slash which one? Static. Because where you created this static folder in it? Application. If it is not there in application folder, if it is not there in application folder, what you are trying to do? If it is not there in application folder, if it is there in a project folder, directly you give what? Static. So this indicates what is a base directory? D colon backslash. So DJANGO 7:30 a.m. backslash. Your project name backslash. What is the name of the folder? Static. So that is base directory joined with what here? Static. So static. Now you are using a static here, right? So you have to define this. Okay, you have to define this. OS dot path dot join. Join is nothing but combining, right? So join is a method. Actually, what is OS is here? Yeah, module. This is a module operating system only here. Don't tell abbreviation. It is a module, and this path is what? Environment, and it is joining. It is joining how many here? Two paths. What is the first one is base directory, and one more is what? Static. It is joining this both. It is joining what? This both, and create which object? Path object. It will create which object? Path object. That path object is a static or dynamic? Dynamic. So whenever there is a changes, you do changes in which one? Path. Whenever there is a changes, you do changes in what? Path. Path here. Now what is the base directories? D colon backslash backslash DJANGO. DJANGO 7:30 a.m. Backslash. What is your project is? Project sum 10 backslash. What is the name of the folder is? Static. Understood? So this is called which directory here? Base directory, and you are joining which one? Another directory. What is that? Static. Understood? Right? So now that is what you mean by static. Static which one? DIR is a variable hold path where static resources are exists. And next one is now second one is you have to define the static. Okay, you have to define the static files. Static files underscore what is that? DIRs is a variable which hold static, which hold what? Static DIR. Static files DIRs is a variable which hold what? Static DIR. Static DIR. Okay, static files DIRs is a variable which hold what? Static DIR. Static DIR. So what is the meaning of this? You are saying static. This can be uppercase or lowercase, no problem. Static files underscore what? DIRs is a list. Inside this, you are defining which DIR? Static DIR. Static DIR. Now, it is a list. Now, this static files DIRs is a predefined variable, but the static DIR is user defined. Okay, because you can define multiple paths. You can define what? Multiple paths. Multiple paths. Now, what is a generally you put only one path where it is available. Now, what is the name of this here? Static dir. So you can create in application folder. You can create in what? Project folder. If you create in project folder, just give slash static. If it is created in application folder, just give the application name slash static. Application name slash static. Then next one is static URL. What is the name of this variable? Static URL. Now static URL is used for defining defining what? URL. URL is nothing but what? Name. URL is nothing but what here? Name. So where this name is used? Where this name is used? To access. Where this name is used? To access. Now I want to access the path. How can I access the path? By using what? Static URL. But will you access? Will you access directly saying d colon backslash backslash? No. You access it by using one name, and that name is called which name? URL. That name is called which one? URL. See here, these are some of the steps. Now first you create a folder with what name? Static. Inside which folder? Application folder, or okay, I'll write here. Which folder? Project folder. So within static folder, create a subfolders like images, audio, video, and CSS and JS. And configure static path in settings.py. One is static files DIRs, second one is static DIR, and third one is what? Static URL. Then static DIR is a variable hold path where static resources are exist. How you define the static dir? By using os.path.join. What is a directory here? Base directory. Always base directory refers to which directory? Project container directory, and within that you have a folder called which one? Static. Then static dir. Static, you may have a multiple static DIRs. Then you define all those static DIRs into one environment variable. And what is the name of that variable? Static files dir. So you define which one? Static dir path. Then after that, you define the static URL. Static URL is used for defining what? Name. If I want to use this path, inside a template, how can I use this path? By accessing with one name, and that name you call it as which one? Static URL. You can use this path within the template by using what name? Static URL. Static URL. Is it clear on this one? Right? Then once this is done, then how can I use this static resources? How can I use this static resources in the template? Seventh step is using which one? Static resources within what? Template. So template is nothing but what here? HTML file. Template is nothing but HTML file. How can I use it? Actually, if you want to use image, use what? If you want to use image, use what? Image tag. If you want to use image, then use which tag? Image tag. If you want to use CSS, then use which tag? Link tag. Yes or no? If you want to use a JavaScript, use what? Link tag. Use these tags. But using this tag, you define the source or not? Yes. But where that source is available? It is available in what? Static. It is available in what? Static. So first, you have to load which path? Static path. You have to load which path? Static path. So that can be done by using one tag. That can be done by using one tag. That can be done by using one tag. And what is the name of the tag is load. What is the name of the tag? Load. Load is the name of the tag. This is used for loading which path? Static path. Which path? Static path. Static path. So what is the name of the URL? What is the name of the URL? Just you give the URL or not? Yes. Suppose, assume that here, what is the name of the URL is given? Tell me here, what is the name of the URL is given here? What is the name of the URL is given here? Static. What is the name of the URL? Static. Now this URL is bind with what? Path. This URL is bind with what? Path. Now how can I load the path? Or how can I load the path? By using what? URL. How can I load the path using what? URL. Then how you define the path? By saying percentage load. Load what? URL. Load what? URL. Which URL? Static URL. If you don't load this path, can I use resources? No. Now your template cannot understand where it is available is. Your template cannot understand where it is available is. Understood? So percentage load static URL. But what is the URL is given here? Static. By default, what is the name of this URL? Static. Can I give any other name? Yes. Understood? So what is this load is? What is load is? Load static URL. What is the meaning of this? Loading. Loading what? Path. Loading the path. You are loading the path. Means you are defining the path or you are configuring the path. Within what? Template. You are telling that, okay, my static resources are available in this particular location. By saying what? Load what? Static. Load static. That is the name of the URL. So percentage load. What is the name of the tag is? Percentage load. Percentage load is the name of the tag. Understood? Then next is you have to use what? Resource. I'll give you the definition of this here. It means you cannot use the image directly, like the way how you are doing in what? HTML. Because this is server side or client side? Server side. Server side means server should know where is your programs, where is your static resources. For that, you have to do all this. You have to do what? All this configuration. You have to do all this configuration. Okay, right? Then after that, you need to include what? Images. You include images, or you include what? CSS, or you include what? JavaScript. All this you include it. Suppose example is, if you want to include image, you'll say what? IMG. What is the name of the tag? IMG only, right? Then IMG followed by what? Source. You give the source IMG what? Source. What is the source? You should give the file name or not? Yes. Which file name? Image file name. Means you should give the path or not? Yes. I should give the path. Where is my images are in? It is there in one folder or not? Yes. So what is the name of that folder? Images. What is the name of the folder? Images. You can give directly. What is that? Source equal to backslash. Backslash what is that? Images. And then give what name? Image name. Images and give what name? Image name. Now this is fixed, static or dynamic? Static. This is a static. This is what here? Static, right? Now suppose if it is a link, link is there. Link, what do you write? A relation. What is a relation is? For example, if it is external CSS, what do you write? Style sheet. Style sheet. Then what? How you include? href. How you include? href. Then you'll define URL or not? Yes. So what is that URL? CSS slash what name? CSS file name. CSS slash what name? CSS file name. But can you use this images and CSS without loading this path? No, you cannot use it. compulsory. You have to load what? Static path. How you load the static path? By using one tag called load. By using one path called which one? Load. Now you can also create a dynamic URL. You can also define this image source and href by using another tag. What is the name of the tag is percentage. There is one tag. This is for defining which one? Dynamic URL. This is for defining which URL? Dynamic URL. This is which URL? This is which URL? Static. This is which URL? Dynamic. Dynamic means you can load from variables. You can load from what? Variables. Okay. So variable. Now here you can define what? You suppose if it is an image, you can write img. Img, what is that? Source equal to within. So percentage. What is the name of this? URL. And then give what here? Path. So is it this is static or dynamic? Dynamic. That can be done by using one tag. What is the name of the tag? URL tag. So tags are fixed or dynamic? Dynamic. These are DJANGO template language tags. So one is, this is a tag for inserting what? Values. And this is a tag. This is a tag name. There is a tag name. What is the name of the tag? Load. There is one tag name. What is the name of the tag? URL. What is the name of the tag? URL. What is the name of the tag? Load. So this is for defining URL. This is for loading what? Resources. Resources available in a specific path. Understood? Right? So these are the things what you have to do it if you want to work with what? Static files. देखो यार ये पूरा सेट करना, एक भी मिस हुआ है तो इमेज नहीं आता. If anything is missed, image will not be displayed. Yes, Django is easy, but once you do all the configurations, configuration is very important. Understood? So configuration is very important and you should do all these configurations properly. Then next what we have to do? We have to develop one project with images, CSS, JS, not audio video. Okay. So maybe tomorrow I'll tell you how to create a project with static files. How to create a project with the static files. And then I'll tell you how to work with the model. Yes or no? So we know how to write a view. We know how to write a template. Then even you should know how to write a model. So this configuration you understood. How many variables you create? 3 variables. What is the first one? Static files dir. Second is static dir. Third is static URL. Static dir hold the path where your resources are available. And the static dir you assign it to what? Static files dirs. If you have multiple. And the static files dir you are loading it by using which one? URL. That is nothing but static URL. Okay, na? Right. So tomorrow we'll see the project. Not today because it will take some time. Right. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. Right. No, this, it is stored in that where it is stored in that list. It is stored in that list. It is stored in that list. Right. So if you have a multiple paths, then you define that by using static dirs. Right. Right.